Okay, guys, this is a much needed update. Um, I'm leaving Alamosa, going back to the yurt. It was fun for a day, rubbing elbows with others at the homeless shelter, socialization. That was definitely the benefit of spending some hours in an evening, staying overnight at the facility. Getting a good night's sleep was not the benefit. I haven't slept that roughly in a very long time. It was very loud. But I understand. It can be difficult for some people that have certain medical issues to stay in their bed, or I don't know, between 2 and 6 a.m. and stop opening and closing the door thousands to hundreds, hundreds to thousands of times. Um, I understand it's difficult for some people in those situations. They can feel kind of stir crazy. Um, I felt that way a little bit too. In the morning, I had some very interesting conversations, though, with some very, very aware individuals. And what you saw, the video that you saw, the last video, was the only person that let me interview them. I'm always asking people if I can interview them. 95% of the time, people do not want to be interviewed by me and don't want to be on YouTube. So that answers one of the questions from the last video as to why there aren't more of these. Also, my camera was stolen. I don't have a camera, so unless I'm walking around with my laptop, my MacBook Pro, which I have right now, there's no filming going on whatsoever. So I just need to remind people that would like to see much more of me like I'm a filmmaker, as if I have a budget, that there are basic limitations. One of the basic limitations, which I mentioned about a week ago, was my ability to access affordable internet. And the valley where I am, I need to get satellite internet. Without satellite internet, I'm not getting stable internet. Verizon doesn't work, AT&T doesn't work, because in the part of the valley where I'm at, the cell phone signals aren't getting there. So basically, you have what I have last week, me traveling to the neighbors or traveling to other places to use a internet signal. And this week I'm gonna have to actually travel into town 15 miles, um, because the even though I gave the neighbors the coordinate for the radio station, they feel uncomfortable when I'm on the property simply because I'm a stranger. So these are some limitations I have to deal with, and I'm rolling with it, and I'm accepting the fact that I may not be able to get internet. Period. And I want to make this video to say it's okay. If you haven't felt called in spirit to help me get settled in, I mean, I'm not talking about money. I mean, actually getting on the phone and making that call. And we still need someone to do that. But if you can't do that, or I'm not meant to have it because I'm supposed to be offline and just dealing with my own life, then so be it. I accept that. I accept the fact that I may have some challenges coming to some of you. Now, I do a radio show that I hope all of you are aware of. So if you're not doing anything Saturday nights, feel free to join me. Feel free to call me. If you've never talked to me ever in your life, hell, I'm just sitting there talking, interviewing people. Pick up the phone and call 218-339-8525, AmericanFreedomRadio.com. 8 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time. Um, and so that's how you can listen to Outside the Box. But I'm paying to do the show because I care about it. And I care about reaching some of you with some of these ideas that some of you are receptive to. So, like I said, I'm going to be driving into town, I'm actually going to be driving this Saturday night 30 miles, 30 to 40 miles, round trip, simply to come to you on American Freedom Radio. Some neighbors like me. Some neighbors look at me like I'm going to hurt them or their children. And there is no words uh, that I can put together to convey how horrible that feels when you know you're a good person and you truly believe in women's rights, especially when the government is the greatest oppressor of women around the world. And it's not very difficult to look me up and see what I'm all about. But I have to face reality, and I keep fighting reality that there is a lot of hatred in this world towards people like me. People that choose to remain politically independent, people that choose to live in the world of ideas and philosophy and spirituality. It's when I really bring out the spiritual concepts that the verbal attacks come. I've actually had to defriend several people this week because they felt the need on Facebook to insinuate that I was a loser simply because I was no longer in Portland, and it seems like a lot of people think I'm on this earth to serve them. Simply because I make videos, they may see me as a celebrity, which I mentioned in a previous video is completely insane. I'm a human being. There's lots of human beings that have learned to use webcams, or learned to go down to their Access TV studio, or learned to go down to their community radio station. This is not about celebrityism or conspiratology 101. There's a greater world that we can see if we think outside the box. And I want to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper outside the box. But when I was at the shelter, I met a woman who was in her 50s that was on the cell phone talking to her friend about, Patriot Talk Radio and whatnot. So I knew that to a certain degree, she was awake to certain things. I struck up a conversation with her, and immediately, without even asking me what my information was, her information, her message to me was, you need to stay off the internet. You need to work on your real self, not your virtual self. And I've already understood that. I already believe that. But just to hear someone, bring that message home again, I have to give that some thought. I'm going to go home tonight with no internet. I had to return the device that I did have because, I'm not going to sign a contract for 2 years, pay $50 a month for internet that does not work where I actually reside. I have had complications moving this car back and forth. Sometimes it doesn't start up in the freezing temperatures. It said the other day actually just now when I came from the market, Alamosa, coldest place in the country. Wrong. Where I am, I've heard a neighbor say it's 10 degrees even colder in the San Luis Valley, the part of the San Luis Valley where we are near Mesita, Mesita. For people that want to Google Mesita, Colorado, in the San Luis Valley. It's very close to where I am. So it's cold, I'm freezing, I'm dealing with just survival, and it may warm up at some point, but right now I just got to let go. I got to let go of this quest I have to get on, the internet, unless one of you feels called to. But if you're not feeling called to, maybe it's because I'm not supposed to have the internet right now. I know there's a lot of people out there that send me messages, again, many of them attacking, but many of them supportive, and I want to thank some of you that sent some donations my way in the last couple weeks to help me stay afloat. But unfortunately, $80 a month for satellite, $200 down through it. I mean, that's way beyond the donations that are coming in at $10 here, $20 here. I got a way that I can feed myself, clothe myself. I took a shower recently. I'm going to buy $40 worth of firewood. I can give you a long list of, how it needs to go towards basic survival. But there's nothing more than I want. And I just want you to understand this, than to be able to be in a better space, to be in a studio anywhere in the U.S. just about, to be working with a team, an alternative media network, a real one that's not going to ask you for money before they give you the information. And I don't know how many people are watching this that are involved in creating content, but we got to figure out how we do something about this. We are so divided. I'll make another video about this in the research community. It's so much about ego with a lot of these people. And some of the younger men that are coming up, some of the younger hosts that I've heard, there are some that understand this spiritual, non-ego based, the importance of maintaining that balance and maintaining a clear outlook on why we're doing this. It's not about a name or being a celebrity. It's about the information. I also hear other young men that are younger truthers that sound like they're trying to be someone else and prop up the name for themselves and brand this and brand that. And I've never been good at branding. You don't have an Alex Ansary t-shirt. You don't have an Alex Ansary. People have been asking me to do that stuff for years. Never done it. That's not what it's about. It's not anything wrong with that. I just haven't felt drawn to. It's like, you guys saw me walk away from my TV show. That meant everything to me because I had faith for a time being in someone else's project. Their idea of a alternative media network. Obviously, it fell on its face because the spirit behind it wasn't there from those that were controlling it. And I tried and I tried and I tried. Same thing with the survival store. So part of my experience is accepting things that I can't change. And right now, folks, I can't change the fact that I can't get back to you in your private message or to me on Facebook. And a lot of you have been really, really kind to me and make up for what amounts to psychic attacks from other people, and the way that they come all at once in this wave leads me to think, man, there's something the universe is doing to test me or make me stronger. But there's certainly something dark behind whatever is directing their subconscious, because there's no reason people that I've known personally should try to insinuate that I'm a loser for trying to live off the grid. I'm actually doing things other people have never done before. Why would someone of a rational mind attack another human being for trying to live independently? Why would people that I've never met before act like I've left them, like I'm an ex-boyfriend or something like that, like I've broke their heart or something, when I've actually never met them in my life? I've just known them off of Facebook. Some of these people have never actually met me, yet they act like they're in a place to tell me what to do with my life. What I know and what I understand, I got to flip this off because the battery's dying, and I'm going to go get this library and I'm going to upload it. Then I'm going to go home and I'm going to relax. What I've learned is, if you really believe something, if you really care about something, if you really have a message, a passion, you've got to do it whether people support you or not. No one supported me when I did Outside the Box TV. And for years, there were people that I don't need to get into that I really wanted to validate that I knew that I was onto something. And they never would. They never would. And still to this day, they can't. So this isn't about praise. This isn't about fame. This isn't about money. This isn't about the women. This isn't about cars. This isn't about anything material. It is purely spiritual. And for me to shift individually to my next level of, consciousness, I have to accept that, folks, we're not going to be able to connect very much in the coming weeks. I actually had to pay $35. Again, I had to pay money to restock that device, and that's money that can go to food. That's money that can go to firewood. If you feel called to, the best way you can help is to find the best satellite deal, set up that account, and then get with me, and I can get with them about where they can come set it up. If you're able to do that. If not, it's okay. No guilt, no resentment. It is obviously not meant to be. I will try to keep doing the radio show as long as I can, and I will be driving 30 miles, 30 to 40 miles round trip tomorrow night just to bring you a show. So I'm paying to bring you a show. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for your prayers. I want to thank those of you for some of your support that you've given me. And we'll talk to you later. Tomorrow night, American Freedom Radio, 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Pacific. Write down, make a note of it. Thanks.